Joseph Stalin was a Georgian revolutionary and Soviet political leader who dictatorially ruled the Soviet Union from 1924 until his death in 1953 and transformed the Soviet Union into an industrial and military superpower. Joseph Stalin was born on December 18, 1878 in the small town of Gori, Georgia. His father was a shoemaker and an alcoholic who routinely beat his son, and his mother was a laundress. As a boy, Stalin contracted smallpox, which left him with lifelong facial scars. In his early life, he only gained a rudimentary education and was drawn towards communist ideology and became involved in robberies and violence against Tsar Nicholas II and sympathizers. After leaving the seminary, Stalin joined up with the Bolshevik revolutionaries. This was an underground group of people that followed the communist writing of Karl Marx and were led by Vladimir Lenin. Step by step, Stalin became one of Lenin's top leaders and led riots and strikes, and even raised money by robbing banks and other crimes. Therefore, between 1902 and 1913, he was arrested 6 times and subjected to imprisonment and exiled in Siberia. It was during this time that he adopted the name Stalin, meaning steel in Russian. In February 1917, the Russian Revolution took place, and the government led by the Tsar was overthrown. In April 1917, Bolshevik leader Lenin denounced the provisional government, arguing that the people should rise up and take control by seizing land from the rich and factories from the industrialists, and by October, the Bolsheviks were in control. In 1924, shortly before Lenin's death, he wrote a testament where he recommended that Stalin be removed from power. Lenin referred to Stalin as a brutish bully, but after his death, Stalin took control as sole leader of the Soviet Union, and in order to strengthen the Soviet Union, he decided that the country should move away from agriculture and become industrialized. That initially achieved huge successes, but over time cost millions of lives and vast damage to the environment. Any resistance was met with swift and lethal response, and millions of people were exiled to the labor camp of the Gulag or were executed. In 1939, Stalin shocked the world with the signing of the Nazi-Soviet Pact, which agreed on non-aggression with Germany, and Stalin formed an alliance with Adolf Hitler. However, Hitler hated Stalin, and the Germans made a surprise attack on the Soviet Union in 1941. At first, Stalin couldn't believe that Adolf Hitler had attacked the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was almost defenseless, and German forces swept through the country, reaching almost the outskirts of Moscow by 1942. But in order to fight off the Germans, Stalin joined the allies of Britain and the United States, and after a terrible war, where many on both sides died, the Germans were defeated. Though his popularity from his successes during World War II was strong, Stalin's health began to deteriorate in the early 1950s, and on March 5, 1953, Joseph Stalin died. Although he left a legacy of death and horror, his death was mourned by millions who saw Stalin as a champion of communism and hero of the Second World War. Let's finish this video with Joseph Stalin's most famous quotes. But first, if you have any question about Joseph Stalin, feel free to ask in comment section, and I'll try to answer as many as I can. Also, let me ask you one challenging question. If Joseph Stalin was sitting in front of you right now, and you could ask him just one question, what would you like to ask him? A single death is a tragedy. A million deaths is a statistic. I believe in only one thing, the power of human will. Education is a weapon, whose effect depends on who holds it in his hands and at whom it is aimed. This creature softened my heart of stone. She died, and with her died my last warm feeling for humanity. Those who vote decide nothing. Those who count the vote decide everything. In the Soviet army, it takes more courage to retreat than advance. When there is a person, there is a problem. When there is no person, there is no problem. Ideas are more powerful than guns. We would not let our enemies have guns. Why should we let them have ideas? A sincere diplomat is like dry water or wood and iron. It is difficult for me to imagine what personal liberty is enjoyed by an unemployed person who goes about hungry and cannot find employment. Real liberty can exist only where exploitation has been abolished, where there is no oppression of some by others, where there is no unemployment and poverty, where a man is not haunted by the fear of being tomorrow deprived of work, of home, and of bread. Only in such a society is real, and not paper.